about a slave who ran away. He met the preacher, the old preacher Paul.
Bless you.
Right?
Bless you.
And he was
allergic
sent
to
back.
pictures.
And Paul was sending him a letter and said, give this to your master. And the letter basically said, I want you to treat him like my son. No longer treat him like a slave. I want you to treat him like my son. And he'll be good to you. He's learned his ways. Did you know sooner or later, you got to grow up?
Yeah.
And some people, it takes a little bit longer to grow up and mature than others. But sooner or later, you will.
Amen.
Sooner or later, you'll make your own decisions. Do I go to church? Do I not go to church? Do I get a job? Do I not get a job? Do I sin? Do I not sin? These are decisions that you will be making. This particular man, Bowman, that Paul wrote about in the last chapter, he thought he was being mistreated at home. And for all we know, he might have. Does that make sense?
Bless you. Bless you.
We don't know if he was mistreated or not mistreated. We have no idea. All we do know is, by the time he meets the old man Paul, Paul's put something in him that he will remember the rest of his life. And he will want to do right, and simply because of the teachings that the old preacher man had on his life. Now, you know, I mean, there's good preachers, there's bad preachers, there's good teachers, bad teachers, there's all kinds. But Paul was the kind of man that could teach you if you wanted to learn. But if you didn't want to learn, he wasn't going to teach you nothing. He wasn't going to teach you nothing. So it depended on you. So we're going to study the book of Hebrews now. And Paul is writing the Hebrews. And he said, God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. What does that mean? How many parts of the Bible do you have? How many parts of the Bible do you have?
2 parts. The Old Testament and the New Testament.
Old Testament, New Testament.
32.
I'm talking about books.
2. In the Old Testament, there were prophets. Let me tell you about this one guy. Are you ready? This guy, he'd do anything for God. He was a crazy preacher. You think I'm crazy. This guy was nuts. So the first thing God tells him is, I want you to go make a castle with dirt and surround it. Make little soldiers all over the place. He said, and then we're going to besiege it. In other words, the soldiers are going to come in and destroy the castle. You're going to take big balls of dirt and you're going to throw it at the castle. And the castle's finally going to come down. And everybody's going to ask you, what are you doing? He said, well, that's a picture of what's going to happen to Israel. Enemies are going to come in. So y'all can't listen to the preaching. So I guess we got to treat you like kids. And show you through illustrations of what's going to happen. He gets better. There was two divisions of Israel. When David was king, there was one kingdom. Solomon was king, there was one kingdom. When Solomon left, the kingdom was divided. And now there was two kingdoms. There was Israel and there was Judah. And the first kingdom was so wicked. That was Judah. I believe it was Judah. That they basically got captured and were enslaved. And we never hear about them again. If I get this right. I may have it backwards, Israel, Judah. So I'm not a historian. I'm just telling you a story. The other one, they go in there and they get captured. Just like their sister, Judah and Israel. Guess what happens? The same thing happened. And the preacher had already told them, had already come up. They were, he was in his preacher school, uniform. I don't know what they did back in them days, the little white collars or whatever. I don't know how they dressed, Now you got a suit on. Nowadays, preachers don't even do that. They don't even have suits on anymore. They ain't very good preachers. I'd rather stick with the old ways. But this preacher comes up and says this is going to happen. Everybody got mad at him. You're discouraging the people. People are discouraged. We're all going to die. Why are you telling them people we're all going to die, we're all going to become slaves? Because it's the truth. Well, don't do that. Because then Jeremy's going to be scared because he already heard from the preacher and the preacher done told him, you're either going to die or you're going to become a prisoner. Now that would really make you want to go out there and fight the enemy, don't you think? Knowing that you're going to either become a slave or you're going to die. So this same preacher, I believe, he was told by God to make another illustration. He said, I want you to lay on one side and lay down for so many days, and you can eat your portion of food, and it must be cooked in human dung, so much. Now, the preacher goes, wait a minute now, God. I ain't never defiled my body before. He's arguing with God now. I do it with animal dung, but I ain't doing it with human dung. All right? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm your preacher, but there's a certain point I just ain't doing it. Because I'm not going to defile myself that bad. So God said, I tell you what, you go ahead and use animal dung. I tell you, that was a mighty tasty smell right there. You get up in the morning and there's that dung cooking, there's that poop just cooking away your food, and you go over there and you smell your bacon and your eggs, and you smell it, and it's cooking on animal dung, and you go, boy, that sure smells good.
Amen.
No, it didn't smell good. Then he was supposed to lay down on the other side. Then he was supposed to get naked. The preacher got naked. He had to get naked and lay down. You say, why? And people would ask him, why are you naked? Why are you laying down naked? And he said, because this is what's going to happen to y'all. The enemy's going to come in and make you take off all y'all's clothes and shame the ones that are still alive, and you're going to come back and they're going to make you sing songs. I want to hear Amazing Grace. They're going to request songs, spiritual songs. Come on now, everybody get to it now. I want to hear Amazing Grace. I want to hear some tears now. I want you to shout. All right, just like y'all having camp meeting. Okay, I've heard y'all have had camp meeting here at Israel. I want y'all to sing Amazing Grace. I want to hear some of them good old-fashioned songs while you're butt naked.
Right.
Because, see, that preacher was willing to do whatever he had to do to get the message to the people. Words were not working. Preaching was not working. So we had to use illustrations. And that's just the way they did it. And that's what God did. In times past, He spoke by the prophets. Some of them were good prophets. Most of them were good prophets. Some were lying prophets. Some were cheating prophets. That don't mean they weren't God's men. They were just, one was a liar, one was a cheater, He's still God's man, I wouldn't mess with him. One guy, he was a liar. He told this other preacher, after he destroyed this idol, he said, God told you to come home and come and eat with me. Well, that was a lie. But since it was just a small lie, he figured he could get away with it. Oh, the preacher goes, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal right there. Even though God told you to get the hell out of there and leave, and get your butt back and leave, get out of town, get out of Dodge, you done delivered the message, they're going to hunt you down, leave. What does he do? He listens to the other preacher and he gets himself killed.